Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Mikey Makes. This afternoon I'm going to be making the humble fig roll, Exhibit A.
Daisy wants it.
Can you see that? Well, everyone knows what a fig roll is anyway.
No, hold it up, I've just zoomed. Give me time to zoom. Turn it up the other way, it looks like a smile. No, you dick, that's it.
This is a happy shopper example, it's pretty disgusting.
Rubbish, isn't it?
But that's what we're going to be making. So, the ingredients. In here I've got 115 grams of plain white flour and I've got 150 grams of plain...
15, or have 50, I can't remember.
Cut that bit. 115 grams of plain white flour, 115 grams of plain wholemeal flour that's been sieved and then all the brownie bits thrown in on the top.
Good for you.
I've also got 150 grams of butter that's been chopped up in little cubes. I've got 250 grams of figs ready to eat, soft.
Off our own tree.
Off our own tree. I've got 65 grams of light muscovado sugar and I've got 2 egg yolks. In the pan behind me I've also got in readiness 6 tablespoons of... Shut up! 6 tablespoons of water, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and a tablespoon of brandy. So, first of all we've got to make the dough.
Yes. Dough.
So what I'm going to do is in the...
Hang on, he's over there. Oh, that was terrible, I judged. Go on, I'm there.
In the food processor I'm putting the flour.
Take the lid off this week, Jonesy.
Yeah, and the butter. And this is where it all turns to rat shit.
No, it won't. It won't. Just pulse it, though. I read that that's a good way of keeping your pastry nice. Pulse it. Pulse. That's not pulsing, is it?
No, it's not, is it? Oh, I know.
Oh, that's
now
pulsing it, Jonesy. Right, I'll cut this until you've pulsed.
Okay.
Alright. Go on, Jonesy.
So I've pulsed the living daylights out of that. That's all breadcrumby, so I'm now going to add the sugar. And I'm going to put in my 2 yolks.
From our own chickens. Mind your left elbow, Jonesy, is blocking your mess.
Bigger pot next week, I think.
Yeah.
And
vanilla.
then I've got a teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Ooh, fluid. Jonesy, fluid movements if you're going to go back and forwards, and try not to have dead air.
I'll keep on right, top back on. And now what I'm going to do is...
hang on, am I recording or not?
Yes, I'm going to...
Am I?
What's it say?
Red, there's a red dot. Oh, I forgot.
I'm going to mix it up until I get a smooth dough now, in theory.
Should you not give it a stir so it gets it all off the side?
I could do. I could also add a little bit of water.
I'll hold fast because I think that looks quite doughy.
Not yet. Do you want to come back in a couple of minutes when it is doughy?
Hang on, I'm just huming in on your... Oh.
Keep it clean.
I think that's going to be quite doughy, Jonesy.
We'll come back in a minute.
Alright, let me just zoom out in a... Right, see you in a minute.
Okie dokie. Right, so I've taken the dough out and I've rolled it into a ball. I'm going to stick it in some cling film and that is going in the fridge for half an hour.
Ooh.
So we'll come back to that shortly. Now in the meantime we've changed pans because apparently the other pan wasn't the right pan and the camera woman was a bit concerned that putting 8 or 9 tablespoons of liquid into a big pan would be wrong when it's supposed to be in a small pan.
It says small pan.
All right.
On the rest of
so anyway, we've got the figs and apparently I've got to make sure there's no little stalky bits on them.
Can I just say something?
What?
Do you want to set the timer for 30 minutes?
Okay.
Always thinking, me. Always thinking.
Right, so I put the figs in here and I put it on a medium heat.
Get it down.
Shut up! Just cover and... Alright. Burn your figs. You're not having any more.
So they're in there. They've got to come to the boil, and just going to the bin with that, and the dough's got to be in the fridge for half an hour. I don't know what you're shaking your head for.
Well, how am I going to follow you from there to the bin?
Well, you don't.
So you just cut yourself off totally then?
So anyway, if you'd like to go away, we'll come back in a few minutes' time.
You go away.
When everything's ready.
Alright, I'll see you later.
Bye-bye. There. You are recording,
I
aren't
am now, yeah. Right, that was a little minxy of me,
so
wasn't it?
These have been boiling away for 20 minutes now.
Hang on, let me come and look at your figs.
Do you want this up high or down low? So they've plumped up.
Look at his plump figs on
We've
0898.
We've just had a bit of an argument because I'm comparing different
I don't think
methods.
we've had an argument. We've just had a...
I'm going to put them in the...
Well, can I just say at this juncture, and if anybody on YouTube wants to say I'm gobby, that's absolutely fine. This is just... It says in the recipe, mash with a fork.
Right. But in another recipe, it says stick them in the processor.
And I'm just saying, stick to one or the other recipe.
I've gone to the trouble of cleaning the damn processor, so I'm going to use it.
All right, I'm just showing the people.
So
Can you see that wind out there? Look at that.
They're not interested in that.
All
They're
right.
far more interested in fig rolls. And we've also discovered Laura put the lemon juice in at the wrong time.
Because you told me to. Don't you start trying to trip me up, Jonesy.
Right.
You read out what to do.
No, I didn't.
People don't know the half of what I do when the camera stops.
You're in charge of the water. So I'm going to tip that way.
Tip you, mate. Now, how are you going to do this then? What are you going to do? Just
I'm going to
pulse it.
Pulse it.
We'll come back in a minute, shall we, once you've pulsed?
Okay.
Whoops, this is Jonesy. This is what you don't see.
Are you recording?
Might be.
Fascist. Right. If you are, you might want to have a look. That's the figs.
It said make it jammy, didn't it? Is that jammy? I tell you what is funny, because lift up your apron, that seems to be blending in with your apron. That's Jonesy's Beverly.
What do you want?
There you go. That's all right, you couldn't see it against...
Right, so we've got to leave that to cool now.
Is that nice? Yeah,
Yeah, no, it looks
nice,
all right.
yeah.
So we'll come back in it in a little while.
All right then. Time for another cup of tea then.
I'm in favour of putting this in the fridge.
Jonesy, what are you doing?
I think.
You've been dipping your finger in the fig?
Nope. Just making sure that...
Keep your fingers out of it, people have to eat that. I'm filming it.
Very nice.
Is it?
Mm.
Alright, what are we doing now? Is it cool?
No, that's not cool enough, but well, you can start rolling the pastry out.
I know, because you want it, it's got to be assembled quite quickly, so we'll see you later. And you've gone over there now.
Well, you're not
Go
here,
back.
you're
Go back.
You're
Please, you don't crave
You're
me.
not filming it anyway.
I am. Okay.
So, we've got the dough out of the fridge. That's been in there for half an hour or so. We've got the fig paste, which is cooled down. And I've got some flour that I'm throwing on the work surface here. I've also greased and floured a tray there for putting them on in a minute. So what we've got to do to start with is roll this out so that it's 20 inches by 6 inches in size, which is all very boring. So do you want to come back in a minute when it's ready?
Okay. I'm coming in.
Right, we've actually cut the pastry in half because it's a bit of a bitch to roll this stuff because it's so short. So we've got two bits now that are about 10 inches long by about 3 inches. And what we're going to do is put some of this paste into a roll.
Should we cut and then you
Yeah.
can come back when it's all on there,
Yeah.
so we'll see you in a minute.
Okay. Right, so we've got a roll of fig paste on there. Now what we're going to try and do is turn it into a roll, and it's quite delicate.
Like a turd.
Right, and then slightly flatten it.
Thou shalt have a figgy, a little picky.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, so if we come back when I've done all 4,
Okay.
then we'll show you cutting them and all the rest of it.
Well done, Jonesy.
Right, so these are the last 2, and what we're doing is with the back of the knife, we're cutting each of them in half, and then cutting them, each of the halves, into 3.
Whoops. Very tricky stuff to work with, isn't it, Jonesy?
Now it says run a fork along the top and make a nice pattern and all the rest of it on it, but to be honest,
Can't be asked.
well, there's no point because it seems to crumble quite naturally. So then we're sticking them on the tray.
Alright, I'm going to cut out of this because you'll have your back to them and then you're all in.
There we go. So they're ready to go in the oven, all absolutely identical. If they look like they're different sizes, that's an optical illusion. They're absolutely perfect. They're going in,
Wumbly.
and they're going in for 18 minutes. I
No,
think.
they're going for 12 to 15.
12 to 15.
Do 18, they'll be burnt, won't they?
190 degrees, slightly less with this oven. So we'll come back in a few minutes.
Right, do you want to put the timer on?
Okay. 12.
Yeah.
Do it for 10.
Alright. See you in a minute.
Ta-da. And here we have the finished article.
That's not Jonesy, you've just taken it out of the packet you bought.
No, I didn't.
You did. Tell them the truth.
They're identical. They're the ones that I put in the oven, aren't they?
No. You just took them out of the packet.
So does that mean they're still in the oven?
Yeah, behave.
Alright. Okay, so they've been in for 12 minutes or thereabouts. Take them out and see what they look like.
Ugly?
How's that?
Smell delightful, Jonesy. Do you want to put them on your baking wire thing?
Oh yeah, get the trivet out.
Here. I have one I prepared earlier. Okay, we'll let them get cold and then you can nibble one, yeah?
Yeah.
You can have a fig roll as well.
Right, they've cooled off, and it's time to try them. I'm not sure that my arse and laxatives are a good idea, but here we go. Oh, they're horrible. Oh, you wouldn't enjoy this at all, Laura. Mmm. Would you like a bit?
Let me try a bit. Oh, don't be so frigging tight. Give us a bit of your moistness. Oh.
Good enough? Right.
Dogs.
All right then. See you next week.
No, no.
Ta-da.